Yo, what's going on? I hope y'all are having a good day. And I'm Erasuju, and I'm back with another video. So for this video, we're going to be talking about the 10 biggest complaints that I see that has been going on in the game so far, or at least the videos we've been watching and the things we've been reading. Or if you were fortunate enough to play the game you played, all two of you. Nah, I kid. So yeah, let's get into the 10 biggest problems or complaints that I see and that a lot of people just see in general. And of course, subscribe to the channel and like the video. But I do want to mention that I am aware that this has been pre-alpha build and the game isn't out yet, but we still got to talk about some of these things. So for the first problem is going to be the preferred queue-based system. So basically, this is just the role you play. You're not always going to get to play the role you want to play. In Killer Klowns, we know there's only two roles, so I guess it makes sense in that regard. But ideally, we would want to play, the role we queue for. And I'm not even sure what really happens if you go in a lobby with like five of your friends. Like, how does that even work? I almost want to say you should be ineligible to queue for a clown because that'd just be weird. Like, what if those guys are in the same Discord or something and like three of them are clowns and two of them are humans? That'd just be strange. But I do think them making the queues this way is like better safe than sorry because we know in some other games there's kind of some lobby and queue issues going on right now. And I don't know if people in the like ASIM community would be able to handle another game with lobby issues or some long queue times. But I will say though, I think the clown roles will get filled. I think we will have enough people queuing for that, so ultimately I think we'll be fine. And I do want to mention that I think in this game, if there's a stacked party playing clowns and there's a stacked human team playing clowns, I think that'd be more so fair. Whereas there's a stacked party playing clowns, three people that know each other, they queued up together, and like a bunch of randoms playing as humans, I actually think that'd be more balanced. At least compared to other games, because on other games, if one team is stacked and the other team isn't stacked, it's a clean sweep. Like it does not even compare. All right, so for the second issue, that could be a problem, right? And it's that the humans are too strong. So yes, the humans can kill the clowns as we know, and they can kill them quite quick based on what they're seeing or what we're seeing. So hopefully when the game releases, everything kind of falls into place and things make sense. Maybe the clowns can be tankier or things just make sense. If the clowns outplay the humans, it is what it is. Or if the humans just outplay the clowns, maybe it'd just be reliant on that. I anticipate when the game does release, though, the clowns will probably struggle earlier on, just learning the map and stuff like that. And this doesn't seem like the type of game where the clowns just kill every human, um, every game or a large part of the game, especially because there is a resurrection machine. So I guess that's one reason why you want to farm those humans when you get the chance, because it kind of serves as an insurance card for if the resurrection machine gets used, at least the clown apocalypse will be happening really soon. Another thing with the humans being strong is the resources are limited, so we're just gonna have to see how far the humans can go when it comes to an attempt at bullying the clowns. Okay, so for our third reason, simply that the game will die just like a lot of other asymmetrical games like this. There's just a lot of fear and pessimism about these games dying, and there's some truth to it. But I do think as long as this game continues to get supported with new content and stuff like that, and it sounds like they got a lot of that stuff planned and they have a lot of things going for us. So moving on to the fourth complaint that I see the most, and that's gonna be the escaping is too easy. We all watched the dev stream and these dudes were finding all the items they needed to escape. It did seem easy, but at the same time, they weren't really trying to escape, and the clowns weren't really trying to kill them. And of course, it is on the pre-alpha build. When the game comes out in a few days, if this is like still a problem, like super consistently, then that might be something they would have to look at with like spark plugs and stuff. And speaking of the spark plugs, for example, I wonder how many spawn on the map anyway. So for the fifth problem, I would say is just some of the visuals. Some people aren't the biggest fan of the HUD. Hopefully that can get changed to an extent as like an option. I know CSGO, for example, you can like change your HUD color, and in League, you can change the size of your HUD. When it comes to another visual thing, I would say is the movement. Hopefully it can get smoothed out, of course, when the game comes out. For the other thing, I would say is the explosion, for example. Hopefully that's not too much going on, a bright pink explosion in your face, and actually like the fear system or whatever that may be. Some of the fear system I saw or whatever it was is kind of just on your screen and it's like pretty annoying. And going back to the HUD briefly, I think the noise making bar, I think it can be like shortened a little bit. It doesn't have to be like as horizontal and as long on the screen, like for me personally. All right, so for our sixth biggest problem, it would be the fact that we're only seeing pre-builds and alpha build gameplay like 95% of the time. I understand they want to be like secretive and stuff, but I still want to see like how is the game actually gonna look when it's ready, and like it's been coming out for a while now and we should have some genuine like real gameplay, this is in the game stuff going on. Man, at this point I don't know if I pre-ordered the alpha build or the actual game. Okay, so for our next talking point, and it's gonna be that the game is on the newer systems. A lot of people were upset about it. Basically, the people that don't really have the other systems, and then the other people are just like, hey man, time to upgrade. But I do think it's better to future proof the game. I think it's a sign that it's going to be around for longer, and it's probably a good way to get those smooth updates and the better tech in those systems. And maybe some of that stuff can aid against like hacking and stuff like that. So for the next thing that could be an issue, that'll be basically the people that are putting out the game stop working on it and work on other endeavors and completely like drop the ball on this one and not really put out patches and stuff and not care for it anymore or just do the bare minimum. I think this will depend on the player base and even their relationship with the movie directors or whatever. But they'll definitely keep in touch with the people playing the game and let us know what's going on. And they'll probably heed to some of our situations we got going on with the game and what could make the game better potentially. And stuff like that. We can go back and forth with that, I'm sure. And for the ninth complaint in this game, it'd be that the toxic players will come over to this community and be toxic. Like it's kind of crazy. People are already dreading salt farmers and juicers, tryhard sweats. And I think there will be different players like that. Not all of them toxic, but I do ultimately think this game is going to be more casual than the other games. And this might sound a little ironic with the proximity chat in the game, but a lot of times when people talk it out, they can actually quell some of that toxicity, ironically, rather than having it pent up in the game where you can't really talk to yourself or even the other team. And people just end up typing in all caps at the end of these games. I think people will have more fun playing this game even when they lose based on the casual nature of the game and just the things you can do in the game and just have a good time. It's not it's not really going to be whether if you died or not. It's really just going to be like, okay, I had a lot of fun that game. The same as if like, okay, we didn't win that game, but man, that game was fun. Let's boot up the next one. All right, and for the 10th complaint, that's going to be the game is too expensive. Of course, there's like a one-time opportunity to buy the $60 version of the game where you get you get a few goodies, cosmetics and stuff like that. But the other part of the game, $39.99, $40, people are saying that's too expensive. And I guess it really just depends on you. And a lot of it is just people are on the fence about the game because they don't really know what it is. Like a random movie from the 80s. Do I really want to spend $40 on this game? There's people saying they're gonna wait till it's on sale, and that's fair. And I will say for this list, there's definitely more things that could be added here. Maybe some things could be taken away if you think this list isn't in ascending or descending order. It's just 10 points that I see, other people see. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Subscribe to the channel.